Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever woken up at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. feeling as though a silent hand gently stirred you awake? You might think it's coincidence, or perhaps the remnants of a restless night. But I propose that it's far more profound. What if this is a divine invitation, a whisper from God in the stillness of the early morning? These hours are sacred. They are when the world is quiet and your mind is clear. God chooses these moments not because they are convenient, but because they are transformative. When the noise of the day fades, your spirit can hear Him best. There is a reason why certain moments in life feel uniquely timed, almost as if they carry a hidden purpose. Waking up at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. may seem random at first, but it is far from an accident. These early morning hours are often described as sacred because they are free from the distractions and chaos that fill the rest of the day. When the world is quiet, when the noise of everyday life is silenced, your spirit becomes more attuned to subtle truths. This is the kind of space where God can truly get your attention. In the stillness of these hours, your mind is uncluttered by the responsibilities and stresses of the day. You are more likely to be open, receptive, and focused on what truly matters. Think about it. When you're awake during the day, how much of your time is spent multitasking, running errands, or simply moving from one task to the next? Rarely do you have the chance to slow down and listen, not just to others, but to your own thoughts, and, more importantly, to God's voice. This is why 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. are significant. They represent a divine appointment. They are moments set apart by God to speak to you without interference. Perhaps it's a gentle prompting to reflect on an area of your life that needs attention. Or maybe it's an opportunity to receive comfort, clarity, or encouragement for something you're struggling with. Whatever the reason, these hours are not chosen randomly. They are intentional, a time when you can hear with the ears of your heart and see with the eyes of your soul. It's also worth noting that these hours have historically been recognized as moments of spiritual significance. Many spiritual leaders, writers, and seekers have pointed to the early morning as a time when divine truths seem clearer and the barriers between the physical and the spiritual feel thinner. Whether you are aware of it or not, waking at these times carries a sense of purpose. So when God wakes you during these hours, consider it a gift. He is inviting you to pause, reflect, and realign with His plans for you. It's not merely about being awake, it's about being fully present. These moments remind you that God's timing is perfect, and His desire is to draw you closer to Him in ways that you might not have noticed in the busyness of your day. The early morning hours, particularly around 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., are often referred to as times of profound spiritual clarity. These moments, cloaked in stillness and solitude, offer a unique opportunity to connect with a deeper sense of purpose and understanding. When God wakes you during these times, it is not a random occurrence, but a divine invitation to receive insight that is often missed in the rush and noise of daily life. During the day, your mind is typically preoccupied with tasks, worries, and distractions. Your attention is pulled in multiple directions, leaving little room for quiet reflection or deep introspection. However, the quiet hours of the early morning are different. They are untouched by the demands of the world, creating a space where your mind can focus and your heart can listen. This is the time when your thoughts are most aligned with your inner self and, more importantly, with God's voice. It is during these hours that clarity emerges. Questions that seemed overwhelming begin to lose their weight. Solutions to problems that felt insurmountable may start to take shape. Sometimes it is not about receiving a concrete answer, but about gaining a fresh perspective or experiencing a renewed sense of peace. In the silence, you are better able to discern what truly matters, and what is worth your energy. God often chooses these moments to reveal truths that might otherwise go unnoticed. He may stir you awake to remind you of a decision you need to make, to encourage you in a season of doubt, or to help you see the next step in your journey. This clarity is not always immediate or dramatic. Sometimes it is a gentle nudge, a quiet assurance that you are unfolding, and that His plans for you are unfolding, even if you cannot yet see the full picture. These moments of clarity are also deeply personal. What God reveals to you at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. is uniquely tailored to your circumstances and your spiritual growth. It is as if the veil between heaven and earth is thinner during these hours, allowing you to receive insights and encouragement that are precisely what you need. So, when you find yourself awake during these sacred hours, embrace the stillness. Open your heart and mind to what God may be trying to show you. In the quiet, you will find not only clarity, but also the reassurance that God is always near, guiding you toward His greater purpose for your life. The moments when you are awakened at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. are an invitation to pause and reflect on your life. They are not arbitrary or meaningless. Rather, they are carefully chosen opportunities to step back and reassess your journey. In the stillness of these early hours, God calls you to examine your path, your choices, and your purpose. Life often moves at a relentless pace, filled with responsibilities, distractions, and routines. Amid this constant activity, it's easy to lose sight of your true direction. You might find yourself simply going through the motions, drifting from one task to the next, without considering whether you are truly aligned with God's will or your own deepest values. These early awakenings serve as a gentle interruption to this cycle, creating a sacred space for self-awarenesses and redirection. When you wake in the quiet hours, the world around you is asleep. This solitude provides a unique opportunity to reflect deeply without the noise and chaos of the day intruding. It's a time to ask yourself important questions. Am I living with intention, or am I merely reacting to circumstances? Are my actions aligned with the purpose I feel called to fulfill? What is God trying to teach me or show me in this season of my life? God may use these moments to illuminate areas of your life that need attention. Perhaps there are patterns, relationships, or habits that are holding you back. Maybe there's a sense of unrest in your heart, a nudge that you are not fully living the life you were created for. These early hours are an opportunity to face these truths with honesty and humility, knowing that God is guiding you toward growth and transformation. Reflection at these times is not just about recognizing what needs to change, but also about celebrating what is good and right in your life. It's a chance to express gratitude for the blessings you've received and to find reassurance in the progress you've made. Even in moments of uncertainty or struggle, these quiet hours remind you that God is present, working all things together for your good. When God wakes you in these sacred hours, He is offering you a gift, the chance to realign your heart and mind with His purposes. Embrace this invitation to reflect deeply and honestly. In doing so, you will find clarity, renewal, and a deeper sense of connection to the path God has set before you. When you find yourself awakened in the early hours of 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., it is not a mere coincidence. It is an intentional call to connection. These moments of solitude are uniquely suited for prayer, meditation, and communion with God. The distractions of the day are absent, the world is quiet, and your heart is more open to receive the whispers of divine truth. Prayer is often seen as a two-way conversation, yet during the busyness of daily life, it can sometimes feel one-sided. The early morning hours provide a rare opportunity to listen as much as you speak. When you wake during these sacred moments, you are invited to approach God with the fullness of your heart, your fears, your hopes, your gratitude, and your questions. In the stillness, you can experience His presence more deeply, unencumbered by the noise of the world. This time is also ideal for meditation, a practice of quieting the mind and focusing on God's Word or His attributes. It is in this space that you can reflect on His promises, seeking strength and wisdom to navigate the challenges of life. Meditation helps you center yourself in His love and gain a perspective rooted in faith rather than fear or uncertainty. The beauty of these early hours is that they are free from urgency. There is no rush, no pressing need to move on to the next task. You can linger in God's presence, allowing yourself to be refreshed and renewed. It is in this unhurried communion that your spirit is strengthened, your mind is calmed, and your heart is filled with peace. Sometimes, the purpose of these awakenings is not to speak or ask for anything at all, but simply to be still and know that God is near. In the quiet of 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., His presence can feel more tangible, His voice clearer. Whether it is a gentle reassurance, a spark of inspiration, or a sense of direction, these moments of connection often carry profound significance. So the birth of beings are moving, the beholding of the void or morning of the future. By responding to this call, you demonstrate faith and willingness to engage in a deeper relationship with God. These early hours become a time of spiritual intimacy, where you are reminded of your dependence on Him and His unwavering love for you. They equip you with the strength and clarity to carry His light into the day ahead, grounded in prayer and fortified by His grace. When God wakes you in the early hours of 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., it is often an invitation to stir your spirit and awaken your purpose. These moments are not interruptions, but divine appointments designed to draw your attention to the greater calling on your life. While they may feel inconvenient or puzzling, they are imbued with significance, serving as reminders that you are meant for more than the ordinary rhythms of daily existence. Every individual is created with a unique purpose, a specific role to fulfill in God's grand design. However, in the busyness of life, it's easy to lose sight of this truth. You may find yourself caught up in routines, responsibilities, and expectations that distract you from the deeper meaning of your existence. Waking during these sacred hours is God's way of breaking through the noise and reminding you of your divine mission. In these quiet moments, God often reveals insights or plants seeds of inspiration. Perhaps there is a dream you have set aside, a passion you have neglected, or a talent you have not fully embraced. These awakenings are His way of reigniting the fire within you, reminding you that your life has a purpose beyond the mundane. They are a call to reflect on the gifts and opportunities He has given you, and to consider how you can use them to serve others and glorify Him. Sometimes awakening your purpose involves confronting fears, doubts, or complacency. God may be urging you to step out of your comfort zone, to trust Him in ways you haven't before. These early hours are an invitation to surrender your uncertainties and to seek His guidance with a heart that is open and willing. In this process, you begin to see the bigger picture, understanding that even small acts of obedience can lead to significant impact. Moreover, these moments are not just about discovering your purpose, but also about aligning with God's timing. Purpose is not only about what you are called to do, but also when and how you are called to do it. The stillness of 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. provides the perfect backdrop for clarity and alignment, ensuring that your steps are guided by His will rather than your own ambitions. When God wakes you to stir your spirit, He is reminding you that your life is part of a greater story. He is calling you to rise, to embrace your purpose, and to live with intention and faith. These moments are a gift, a reminder that you are created for something meaningful and eternal. When God wakes you at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., it is often a sign of His nearness, a sacred moment to experience His grace in a profound way. These hours are uniquely quiet, uncluttered by the demands of the day, making them ideal for receiving the transformative power of His presence. They are a reminder that God's grace is always available to you, even when you least expect it, and that He is actively working in your life. In the stillness of these early hours, your heart is often more open, and your spirit more sensitive to God's movements. This openness creates a perfect environment for His grace to flow into your life. Grace is not merely a gift of unearned favor, but an active force that strengthens, comforts, and transforms you. During these moments, God's grace can help you release burdens, heal emotional wounds, and renew your faith. These awakenings are also an invitation to recognize God's presence in your life, even in the smallest details. It is easy to go through your days feeling distant from Him, especially when life feels overwhelming or mundane. Yet, when God stirs you awake in these quiet moments, He is reminding you that He is always near, guiding and supporting you. His grace becomes evident not just in dramatic events, but in the subtle, intimate ways He reaches out to you. In these hours, God also equips you spiritually. He fills you with His peace to calm your fears, His wisdom to guide your decisions, and His strength to sustain you. The stillness allows you to focus on His promises, which become your foundation as you move into the day. Whether you are facing difficult conversations, demanding tasks, or moments of uncertainty, these early awakenings serve as a spiritual reservoir from which you can draw throughout the day. Moreover, these moments are a reminder of your role as a vessel for God's work. Waking during these hours often signifies that He has entrusted you with something significant. Whether it's offering kindness, leading with integrity, or simply being a light in the lives of others. You are not just called to act, but to act with intention, knowing that your efforts are part of a larger purpose. When God wakes you, it is both a call and a commissioning. He is preparing you to meet the day, not with hesitation, but with confidence and resolve. These sacred hours are His way of reminding you that you are not alone in your efforts. He is with you, empowering you to fulfill the work He has placed before you. When God wakes you at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., it is not just to reflect or connect, but to equip and empower you for action. These moments are not passive interruptions, but divine opportunities to prepare your heart and mind for the work that lies ahead. In these early hours, God strengthens you, sharpens your focus, and instills in you the courage to step into the day with purpose and determination. Often, life's demands can feel overwhelming, leaving you unsure of where to begin or how to tackle the challenges before you. Waking during these sacred hours is God's way of giving you a head start, a moment to center yourself, seek His guidance, and align your actions with His will. These quiet moments can serve as a time to plan, to pray for direction, and to surrender your uncertainties to Him. In doing so, you gain clarity about the steps you need to take, and the strength to carry them out. God's call to action during these times is deeply personal. It might be an urging to address a specific area of your life, to pursue a calling you've been avoiding, or to reach out to someone in need. These moments are not about grand gestures, but about obedience in the small, meaningful things. They remind you that every act of faith, no matter how small, contributes to the bigger picture of God's plan. In these hours, God also equips you spiritually. He fills you with His peace to calm your fears, His wisdom to guide your decisions, and His strength to sustain you. The stillness allows you to focus on His promises, which become your foundation as you move into the day. Whether you are facing difficult conversations, demanding tasks, or moments of uncertainty, these early awakenings serve as a spiritual reservoir from which you can draw throughout the day. Moreover, these moments are a reminder of your role as a vessel for God's work. Waking during these hours often signifies that He has entrusted you with something significant, whether it's offering kindness, leading with integrity, or simply being a light in the lives of others. You are not just called to act, but to act with intention, knowing that your efforts are part of a larger purpose. When God wakes you, it is both a call and a commissioning. He is preparing you to meet the day, not with hesitation but with confidence and resolve. These sacred hours are His way of reminding you that you are not alone in your efforts. He is with you, empowering you to fulfill the work He has placed before you.